All right. Are TBRs fun or not? Ready? How many books are currently or normally on your TBR?
A percentage of all books ever written. A lot.
I think you've used that. You've used that comment before in the past.
Well, it still stands. I plan to read a lot of books.
Okay, how many books are currently or normally on my TBR? Annually, about 52. Monthly, I average 7 to 8, depends on what I'm reading. If you calculate that, what is 12 times 7? 12 times 8. I do tend to read more. I don't know how, whatever. Anyway, my TBR, however, is my library, my private library, because I rarely keep books that I've actually read. So there's that. Number 2, how do you choose TBR books? And have you ever gamified your TBR, such as prompt jars, TBR games, such as my spinner that you created for me, and I added bingo. So she didn't have spinner and she didn't have bingo. I forget who the creator of this is. I heard about it from somebody else's channel, so I'll put their information in the description box.
I read what I want. That's how I choose.
Mood reader.
Yes.
Straight up.
And I have not gamified, to my knowledge.
No, I don't think you have either. Although when he was quite young for school, he was reading and he wanted a puppet. And I said, if you read this many books,
28.
I will buy it for you. How long did it take for you to read?
A week.
And then we went back to the parent-teacher store and I bought it.
Yes.
Is that honey?
Yes.
It's a lizard. Number 3, do you have, my answer is yes. I have used prompt jars, which I don't do well with. TBR games, I don't do well with. I have done a spinner. I did not do well with that. However, the bingo is a winner. I am doing amazing. I'm super excited about it. I'm reading books that I normally wouldn't have read, and so there's that. Number 3, do you have reading areas of focus to choose books for? If yes, how many? Huh? Areas of focus, like topics?
Perhaps.
Is that the question?
Yes.
Do you have reading areas of focus to choose books for? If yes, how many? I don't know.
About 5. 5 on a hand. That's
5 areas?
Thereabouts.
I have no idea. Classics.
Okay.
History.
Mm-hmm.
But the history is broken up into different things.
Yeah.
Christian. I have quilt books, but they're not in here, and I have crochet books. And then I have general fiction. Is that it? How many was that? 7?
Yeah.
Okay. If yes, how many? Do you want to know, like, the books in each? I hope not, because I'm not counting. Number 4, does a TBR help you focus? Yes.
Well, I'm a mood reader anyway, and that's my TBR, so...
But you generally read one book at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yes, a TBR does help me focus. If by focus, you mean be more I put my little notes here. Sorry. Okay, so I added, if by focus you mean be more intentional and organized, yes. Because I am still a mood reader.
Yeah.
But without the TBR, I tend to
Dance.
flounder and flutter around and go from book to book to book to book, and it helps to have that focus. Number 5, do you suffer from the book noise of a TBR? And I said, huh?
I have no idea what that even is.
I know. I'm going to put an emoji because that's how I feel. Huh? What? color me confused. What noise of a TBR? Moving on. Okay, sorry. Number 6, do you give your TBR a time limit? And does a TBR make you stress about reading quick enough? Huh? Again, huh?
I mean,
Quick enough? What does that even mean?
It'd be nice, but
But what is quick enough? What does that mean?
I don't know.
I mean, you finish a book when you finish a book.
Yeah. It's like, unless you have some weird schedule that only allows you X amount of time to read every few months.
Okay, so I have a monthly TBR, and I would like to finish those books in that month.
Yeah.
But I don't always, so if I don't finish it, I will either move it to the next month. Usually I don't. I just put it back on the shelf because I'm not in the mood anymore. If I am still in the mood to read that book, then I will put it for the next month.
Yeah.
So for instance, Truman, I didn't finish Truman for March of the Mammoths, and I didn't read it for April, and I didn't read it for May. So I'll get to it when I get to it.
Didn't read it for May. It's only the...
It's...
Don't rush the month.
It's almost mid-May.
Don't rush it.
Okay.
Trying to enjoy a little
Okay,
break.
but my point is I didn't put it on my TBR.
Yes.
So I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
I think I'm halfway. I'm not sure. Okay, so do you give your TBR a time limit? My monthly TBR, sort of, kind of. Like, I would like to finish them in that month, but I don't always. And do I stress about it? No. Why? Why? Don't do that to yourself. Number 7, do you have rebellion syndrome? And I think that is actually in quotes, because I have it in quotes. Not wanting to read a book because you put it on your TBR and now feel you have to read it.
Sitting there in bed at night looking at the book that I have started, and I was like, I kind of want to read that, but this book over here about horticulture is just calling my name tonight, but you really should be reading.
That's mood reading.
Yeah, it's like...
That's not a rebellion.
I honestly think this is a syndrome of the educational system. Just want to throw that.
What is that?
Socioeconomics in there. Is that due to the educational system's method of reading and reading induction has caused this rebellion syndrome that if it is on a list that you should read, people have developed a natural instinctive hatred of reading because you're supposed to read it. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, so I have 2 things that I want to say about this. Number 1, if you are having issues with rebellion against a TBR that you have actually created, that seems silly to me. Secondly, rebellion, kind of like, I think there's some maturity and lack of maturity involved in that. Because, like, why are you rebelling against yourself? That is all kinds of psychology right there, honey. That is a can of worms to open up. Okay, so the answer would be no. No. Now, Phil, you have to read it. No. So my rebellion is I don't have to read any book if I don't feel like reading it. So there you go. Wait. I messed that up, but whatever. Okay, number 8. Do you keep books on your TBR until they are read or swap the TBR around regularly? Depends on the book.
Depends on the book.
Totally depends on the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, especially since readers, even with the TBR, from what I have observed, readers are mood readers. Regardless of how you set up your reading, we are mood readers. So,
yeah.
If you set up a TBR, guess what? You get to change that TBR whenever you feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I change mine around regularly. Well, every month I have a new TBR.
Yeah. I have books that I've started. I have books that I need to finish.
I have books I need to finish too.
Yeah. I've gotten into the 14-page sort of deal that you have.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah. I've got, I want to say 10 or 15 books that I'm like midway through.
Well, that's more than 14 pages.
I know, it's a little bit better, but not by much. I'm like midway through and I'm just like, I want to read this book now.
Whoops. Okay. Number 9. Have you ever killed a book by having it on your TBR too long? No.
Yeah.
Okay, so my library is my TBR. I have had books on my TBR since the aughts and even some from the late 90s that were technically bought for the family library that I didn't necessarily have a plan to read, but bought them for the family to read, and then have read, 20 years later, a book. So no. I have killed books. But that's a whole other topic. Number 10. Do you have a tick list? Okay, so a checklist for your TBR to check off books as you read them. Yes. Yes, I do.
No. Not really.
I don't think you ever have. I never did it for you.
I mean, there was the little stickers that we would have of like butterflies and apples and other things that we'd put on the wall.
Yeah, but that wasn't a list.
That wasn't a list.
Yeah.
It wasn't a tick. It was just a physical.
This is what you've accomplished.
A physical record of what I read.
Yeah. So when he was little, I had bought a tree that I put on the wall, like it was something for teachers, and I bought it and I taped it to the wall, and each year we would do a different little like leaves or butterflies or caterpillars or owls or what have you, and I would put them on, he would put them on the tree. I would write the title of the book and I think the author.
And the date it was finished.
And the date it was finished, and I'd put roll tape on the back, and he would put it on the tree wherever he wanted. And at the end of the year, he could see what he read based on whatever was on the tree. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun, but we never had a specific
list of things to
list. In high school, we had like a general list.
But half of the stuff on those lists is absolute garbage of the highest quality that I wouldn't consider a dime store, and that includes Shakespeare. Sorry, Shakespeare. Yeah, had a good run, but not a fan.
Yeah, from a...
Shakespeare or something.
Oh, Shakespeare. Yeah. So from a Christian perspective, his writing is very bawdy and inappropriate. Okay, so list. I've just recently started doing an annual list of kind of a general, hey, I want to get to these books. If I'm not interested in these books anymore, then donate them so somebody else can read them instead of having them here. It depends on, like, yes, I'm still interested in this book, but I'm not going to be able to get to it this year, or I don't think I'll get to it this year. But definitely monthly, because it keeps me focused, and I like having that. And so Jay, the faceless booktuber, you know who you are, I'm listing you down below. He mentioned doing a monthly page count, which I have never done before. In all of my time reading, I've never counted pages, and I thought that would be really fun. That would be really fun to see if, like, what my average was for last year. And then I thought, I'm going to try and up it just for kicks and giggles, and why not? Books are you? Okay, number 11. What one change do you think would help your TBR be more fun? Better writing?
Yeah. Me, actually, no, just me reading more.
Okay.
Just, I read when I read.
Yeah. Well, you actually get a chance to read this summer.
Yeah.
Which is great. I it's one change you think. I'm having a great year. I'm having a fantastic year. So final conclusions. Number 12. TBRs fun or not? For me, yes.
Yeah.
And if TBRs don't work for you, then don't do them. Don't do them. I love my TBRs.
Yeah.
So, and it definitely keeps me more focused. Anyways, yeah, so my lists and my TBRs keep me, so number 1, intentional with my time and how my time is spent. Because if I have that list, I have to be responsible and make sure that my time is not wasted. My time is so interrupted. Life on the farm, right?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm sure it's the same living in a city. Anyway, so that was our TBRs fun or not. If you want to do this, it's not really a tag, but I guess it's a tag. If you want to do this video, the prompts, I'll list everything down below. And please leave a comment down below and let me know what your opinion is. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're good. Okay. Bye.
Hey, debut.
Ready? I'm sorry. We have to get books for these. Hang on. Let me see. Ah, this one's good.